What's up, guys? Welcome to the number one podcast in the South Side of Chicago, the Nick Success Speaking Podcast. Before I read the Bible verse of the day today, I'd like to introduce you guys to my very special friend Juan.
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, bro?
Doing all right, man.
So, I would like to read the Bible verse of the day before we get started, just because I wanted to introduce you before, because in my previous episodes, it's like I go to the Bible verse and then I come, like, it's a little weird. I think it's a little bit easier to introduce you first. But I'm going to go ahead and read the Bible verse of the day. And it says, But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. Matthew 5:44 and 45. The word of the day is mesmerized, to hold the attention of someone entirely. And I'm hoping I can mesmerize you guys with with this episode today. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the Bible verse of the day today. It was crazy when I opened up the app today. I'd been going through some things in the past couple of days at work, and dude, this Bible verse, dude, it hit me. You know, it said, I'm gonna reread it a little bit. It says, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Now, I'm not saying somebody was persecuting me at work, right? But I was in the middle of a little situation at work, and I felt like I was getting persecuted. You know, I felt like one of the guys was picking on me, and when I read it, I was like, "Dang, I'm gonna pray for him," because I felt like something, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of like hit perfect, you know. It kind of humbled me a little bit, and I was like, "Dang, this is a really good Bible verse," and it hit me like it was perfect. You know, God's timing sometimes is real perfect, and I'm a little nervous, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Me
It's
too,
been
me
a
too.
couple weeks, actually 2 weeks since I recorded an episode, so I'm a little sketchy. But tell me about yourself. Tell us about yourself, bro.
So, my name is Juan. I'm 22 years old. Just got out the military, Marine Corps. Hobbies is trying to get back into baseball. I played baseball in high school. Wasn't really that good, but I liked it, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into cars, but we'll see.
That's good. That's good. So you said you went quick, dude.
Yeah.
Usually at least I get a paragraph. So you said you just got out the Marine Corps. Before we get into that,
Yeah.
I wanna ask you, why the Marine Corps?
I mean, honestly, they're the ones that went after me. I tried the Army, the Navy, didn't try the Coast Guard because there was really no recruiting for the Coast Guard around here.
Okay.
But all of them came at me probably my junior year,
Mhm.
and I told them I'm not sure yet, and they were like, "We'll get back to you." I talked to the Marine Corps recruiter, and he was like, "No, most definitely I'm gonna come back to you." Senior year came by, and probably like 3 months into my senior year, he texted me. Somehow he got my number. He texted
Dang.
me, and he's
That's
like,
a little concerning, no?
I mean, I did recruiting with him.
Oh,
When
you
that
wrote down your number
No, well,
on the like paper?
no. So the way that they do it, because when I graduated boot camp, I was recruiting with him for a minute while I came back from my 10 days of leave,
Oh, right.
and somehow they text the schools that they're recruiting from, and they get like a report, and it has all their numbers, all the emails of the people that are about to graduate.
Mm.
That's how I'm pretty sure he got my number. But he came to my school one time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to you during your lunch hour." He talked to me during my lunch hour, and after that, he just kept texting me. So I just went to the office, and by like it took him about 3 weeks to get me.
To convince you.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you that. I was like, dang, like you already knew. Like, what led up to your decision? Like, did
So
you you were already thinking about it,
I mean, so my mom always used to say that I always used to say that I wanted to be a soldier when I was younger.
Mhm.
I don't remember that, but she said it. And what led up to it really was I was about to graduate. I wasn't sure what I was gonna major in
Mm-hmm.
college. I wasn't even sure what college I was gonna go to. And my parents were like, just think about what you're gonna do. If you're gonna go to college, we'll help you pay for it. But at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your career.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're gonna do. So I wasn't gonna let my parents just waste their money on me not knowing what my major was. So
Facts.
I joined the military.
That's good. Nice and easy. You said, let's just try it, which is good. It's a good attitude, you know.
Yeah.
It's good. So when you kept meeting with him, right? You kept meeting with him. Did you already have a feeling you were gonna join? Like
Yeah.
within the first time that they came up to you?
So what he did was when he came up to me, he talked to me. He was like, "Hey, come to the recruiting station, and we'll carry on from there." I went to the office. He got like all my information. He asked me the questionnaire was like if I do drugs,
Mm-hmm.
what type of tattoos I have. If I don't have tattoos, but if I had tattoos, they made you show them where the tattoo is because at that time there's a specific criteria. You couldn't have you could have tattoos all on your arms up to right here,
Mm-hmm.
and you couldn't have anything on your elbows. But now, I mean, you could get it all the way up to your arms, just not past here.
Okay.
But after all that, he was like, "Well, I have to talk to your parents." He was like, "Bring them to the office, or we could arrange something." And at that point, I was like, "Whoa, it's getting serious."
Yeah, they were quick with it,
And I was
right?
like, "Whoa, I thought it was gonna take me like a few months," but I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll tell my parents." But I wasn't gonna tell him because I wasn't sure back then. But he just kept coming to my school because I think there was like two other people that were supposed to join at around the same time I was, but they flaked out. So I was just the only one from my school, and he just kept coming back,
So
coming
then
back.
that's why he kept targeting you.
Yeah. So he ended up. He was like, he texted me. He's like, you know what? It's fine if they can't come. I'll just go to your house.
Dang.
So I was like, oh, and he already had my address because all the paperwork I
all
filled
the
out.
paperwork.
So I didn't respond, and then 2 days later he showed up to my door, but he told me, "Oh, I'm on my way to your house." And then my parents sat down, and I was like, "Dang, it's getting serious." And he was like, "Well, here's all the paperwork. Here's your package." He already had made my package, and he was like, "I just need one of your parents' signatures." So my mom and my dad asked me, "Hey, you sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it." And my mom signed, and 2 weeks later, I was at the processing station because you go to the processing station twice.
Mm-hmm.
One to get like your package processed, evaluated, and then at the end of that, they give you what day you're gonna go to boot camp.
Jeez, dude, that's fast.
So I went in January 2019.
You had already graduated, or you were still in high school?
I was still in high school.
Okay.
I went to the processing station for the first time in January, and then that September I shipped out.
Jeez.
So it was
It's good. Right out of high school.
yeah.
4 years went by fast, dude.
I did 4 years. I was thinking about doing
8?
8 years, but I didn't like the way it was heading.
No. Okay. Well, before we get there, okay, so you joined you went to boot camp, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so leading up to boot camp, I remember a little bit because we would go to church. You were nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean,
What did they even offer you money? Like
so
nothing?
for my contract, no, but every month it depended on every month, because a few of my buddies that I went to boot camp with got offered like $5,000 for going during the month that they were told to go.
Mm-hmm.
They offered me that option. They're like, hey, your physical tests are looking good because while you're waiting to ship out, your recruiter has to get you to a specific standard, which is so you have to be able to run a mile and a half in 12 minutes.
Okay.
Do at least 5 pull-ups, and it's not like the underhand one. It's like overhand, and you have to extend all the way up and go all the way back up.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the time it was 100 crunches in 2 minutes. And he was like, your scores are looking to like the level that they're supposed to. Like, if you had the option, would you like to ship out earlier? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's just get it out like over with. But I guess they never had like an opening for my contract, so I just went the day that they gave me. So I mean,
Nothing.
yeah,
Nothing. Well, it's good. I mean,
yeah,
you still shipped out and did it.
yeah.
How was boot camp? Was it scary?
Yeah, it was something else. As soon as I left the processing station for the second time, because they take you back when you're about to, the day that you ship out. They take you like at 4 in the morning. You're supposed to be out there at 4 in the morning. They keep you the day before. Your recruiter takes you to a hotel that they're partnered with.
Mm-hmm.
That all like the military branches, Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard send all their people that they're sending out. And then 4 in the morning, a bus comes pick you up, takes you to a processing station. They finish processing you, and then make you take
What
the.
does processing mean? Like
So
when you say process,
yeah.
bro, I picture like you in line and they're like they got you like butt naked with your clothes.
So it's something like that, but not butt naked. Okay, so you stand in a line. They send you to different stations. They take your fingerprints, and then you take your ASVAB. If you failed it the first time, they let you take it there.
Mm-hmm.
I passed it the first time, but after that, they make you get into this room, and it's like 14 cubicles. And they're like, okay, get down to your underwear,
Mm-hmm.
and then they make you do like I guess like exercises to make sure like your mobility is okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you do like a duck walk, you walk on your heels, on your tippy toes, and then they take you to their medical personnel, and then they do a further evaluation. So they make you like do like when you do a physical sports physical,
Mm-hmm.
like cough and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put all your clothes back on, and then they send you with your package, and then you wait in a little ass room. Sorry for the language.
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
And then they tell you sit there and wait to take the oath. So each branch had a different oath.
Mm-hmm.
They put you in a room. Luckily, my family was able to go to see me take the oath
Mm-hmm.
and like sit there with me while I waited for the bus to come and get me. After that, they tell you, okay, all these people come here. They read off your number, and they're very specific because they say if you miss your like if you don't hear your number, then you won't ship out that day, and then you could lose your contract. So I heard my number. They put me in a line, and they're like, okay, you're gonna go on this bus, and it leaves in like 2 minutes. So get all your stuff and get in line, and then they take you outside. You say goodbye to your family,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're on your way to the airport.
Jeez, that sounds like, dang,
Yeah,
sounds crazy.
it's something else. But then you go to the airport. They give you all your ticket, and they're like, do not miss this flight, or you'll be in serious trouble because
Mm-hmm.
you're technically part of the government responsibility right now. So they send you to a place called the USO, which is like for retired personnel, active duty. They don't let veterans in unless you're retired because they don't have that. It's all volunteer, so they don't have that many resources.
Okay.
And luckily, there they give you, if they're nice, because there's some grumpy people there. The nice people give you a card. You know, like the old times where you have to go to a store,
Mm-hmm.
get the cellular cards, and then scratch it off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
They give you something like that. So I was able to talk to my family again
When you got there.
for like 10 minutes. Then we went to our flight, got to San Diego, and right away you see a drill instructor waiting for you there. And I'm like, damn.
Right when you get it
Yeah.
out the bus, huh?
So yeah, because you get it to the airport, and then you go back to their USO, and then 2 drill instructors are waiting there for you. And they're like, okay, all the Marines, or all the recruits that are going to the Marine Corps,
Mm-hmm.
get in the line. And they're right away yelling at you there. You get on the bus, and it's only like a 2-minute drive because what was the worst part of there is that the airport was right across from the recruit depot.
They don't let you go far.
No, so you went 2-minute drive, and then you go to what is known as the famous yellow footprints.
Okay.
And right there, that's when they all just start. They get on the bus, they give you a speech. Oh, they're like, oh, you're part of a recruit training depot, San Diego. When we tell you to get up and get off the bus. But they're yelling at you like at the top of their lungs. And you get on the footprints, and then they read you like basically the rules. Like they're called the articles of the.
You're good.
They're called articles. I forgot the name of it. Jesus. it's basically like the rules of the depot, and
Okay.
then you get all like your stuff, all the stuff that you bring with you gets inspected, and they give you a big old speech there as well. Then they issue all the gear that you're gonna use. Not all of it, not like your your vest or anything like that. It's just like your uniform, the canteens that you're gonna drink out of,
Mm-hmm.
your laundry bag, and all that. And then they split you into your platoons, and then they write it on your hand. They're like, "Oh, you're." For my boot camp, I was 1010. It was 1009 through 1015,
Okay.
and then they put you and it's like they're called squad base, and it's like 82 beds stacked like bunk beds,
Bunk beds.
and basically there's like all at that time it was all males, but 82 people in one room, 12 showers, 12 sinks, so you had to be like pretty fast because at all times 24/7 there was a drill instructor with you, and they were like
Yelling.
at the top of their lungs. They're like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And the way that they counted was in a regular way.
They say
It
1,
was-
2, 3, 4.
Like, I'm pretty sure like half of them didn't even know what number they were, or they lost track of the number. So they would just throw like the smallest number that was in their head. They could go from 59 to 10, and then they just count all the way down. And if you didn't make it, they'll make you do all the stuff all over again. I remember one time we were changing, and the way that they make you change is that you get online. My platoon had 82 people,
Mm-hmm.
so all 82 people got online, and they inspected to make sure that you didn't have any injuries. And then they're like, okay, underwear, bring it up. They made you hold it in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, okay, put it on your body. They gave you 10 seconds, and then you went from the underwear, shorts, socks, shirt, and then that's it
That was every day?
every day. So that was for like after we were done for the day. But in the morning, I mean, of course, we had like we call it skivvies, which was
Mhm.
like some shorts, a shirt, and your socks. They're brown socks. I hated those. They tore so easily. So in the mornings, it was pretty chaotic because you could just be sleeping peacefully, and then
I don't know.
out of nowhere they just line up because they used to bring other drill instructors from other decks, so it used to be like 15 drill instructors like lined up, and they would just yell in your ear to wake up, and you had to get dressed in like 15 seconds. So it was your boots, your pants, your shirt, you had to, at the time we couldn't, like, there's like faces, first face, second face, third face.
Mm-hmm.
First face, you like look all like, I didn't like the way we look because they made us both button up
Your shirt? Your
our
button
shirts
up
all the
shirt?
way up, and then usually you tuck in like once you're a Marine already, you tuck in your the bottom of your pants. Their boot band, like there's some bands that you put on your leg
Mm-hmm.
and you tuck it under. But in first face, you don't do that. You just fold it up like 2 inches, and they used to measure it. So if you got it wrong, they made everybody take everything off and redo it.
Shit.
And
So you gotta even know how much. Okay, what's going on through your head? Like the first few days, I want to know what you're thinking. The first day, the first 2 days.
so the first day when you first get there, I mean they rush you everywhere. Luckily, some people, not me, but some people get there like 2 in the afternoon, so you still have like some energy. I got there like at 3 in the morning. I was tired. I
Mhm.
was up since 4 in the morning, and they don't let you sleep for another 7 hours because you have to get processed through them. You get your picture taken for your ID,
Mm-hmm.
and my picture came out horrible because I just
I can imagine, dude.
they told me, oh, go in that room, look to your left, and don't smile. So I go over there, I turn around, and I just see a flash, and they're like, next. And when I got my picture, I was just like paled. I look lost. And then I just hated it. I was like, dang, what did I get myself into?
For
Like,
real, dude.
I have
That's
another
what I would be thinking.
I have another 3 months left of this. And I ain't gonna lie, I probably cried like the first 3 days. I was like, dang, like everybody's like, man, why you crying? I'm like, dude,
I don't know if
I've
I
never
can
like,
do this.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I've never, I've been yelled at in my like before, but not like that. Like by the end of my training, like I'm pretty sure like I lost hearing because when they were yelling at me, I could feel like my eardrum like just pulsating.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, the first like, so you're in there for like a week, and then you go to your actual training, which it gets a lot worse because when you first get there, you just learn how to like do the basic stuff like
Mm.
how to march properly, and then when you pick up, that's when you like in the mornings you wake up at 5 or 6, you go work out, and then yeah, you get classes. Some days were better than others because I liked when we had classes because the drill instructors weren't allowed to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
There were other instructors that were drill instructors, but they're like there to teach, so they didn't really yell. They only yelled it to for you to be able to hear them.
And what would they teach you?
So they'll teach you like what was one course?
Like, not college courses,
No,
right? It was
no, just like Marine Corps knowledge. So
mm-hmm.
they talked about like the principles, like honor, courage, commitment, what it meant to you to them, and then you took tests like first like who was the first female Marine,
Mm-hmm.
who was the first aviation officer, and
Like the history of the Marines,
yeah,
but
and then as you progress through the training, it gets easier, but they expect more from you.
okay.
So I liked it, but I didn't like it. I did like going like specifically. I like Sundays because it was religion.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll separate you to your like religion group: Christian, Catholic, all the religions, and they'll send you in groups to your church because the church was in different buildings,
Okay.
and the drill instructors were like forbidden to be in there.
Which
Like,
is cool.
yeah, like they couldn't
You
be
get
in
a
there.
day off.
Yeah, so what a lot of us used to do, and I'm pretty sure like they still do it. A lot of them, they didn't go to the Catholic. If they were Catholic, they'll just go to the Christian one
Mm-hmm.
because it was like a little room with the lights off and like worship music
Mm-hmm.
for like the first hour, and a lot of them just slept in there, just fell asleep.
They get an hour nap.
Yeah, and a lot of them just, of course, they some of them went there to like worship God and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of them just you look around and then they were just sitting down with their eyes closed, and I mean they'll wake them up, but they wouldn't wake them up like, oh, like get up, get up, get up. They're like, hey, can't be falling asleep in here. They're gonna catch you. Or they used to use those like the religions period to like talk to their buddy that was in another company or platoon because the whole base went to those religious programs.
Oh, okay.
But
I would put one of those that we pull sometimes here at this church. I'd be
yeah,
you act like you praying. You take a little nap.
a lot of them went to like where the preacher used to preach, and they used to just kneel there and act like they were praying.
Mm-hmm.
When I went up there to pray, I would be like, hey, you good? Because you've been up here for a minute. And all you hear them just snoring. And I'm like, dang, you look at this music is loud, man, because they'll hear you're snoring.
Yeah.
And then by like 2, you'll go back to your platoons. They'll take you to lunch and all that. And the drone churches used to have a lot of fun during our lunch. Cause
you mean a lot of fun for them, as in screaming?
Like they used to just play with it with like everybody. Like they used to just come to random people and be like, hey, yeah, you like that, right? You like your food? Yeah, it looks tasty. Don't worry, I'll make you sweat it out later.
Oh, dang.
Or like a few times they used to give us like bread, and you could pick as many pieces as you want. And a lot of people used to stack their stuff because like the best thing to make there was peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
You can never go wrong with that.
People used to make a lot, and then they used to have their bread stacked, and a lot of them didn't finish it. So we're called recruits still there.
Yeah, at boot camp.
Yeah, so a lot of the recruits used to be like, yeah, man, I can't finish it, man. and the drill instructor will hear it, and be like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna finish it," or "There's gonna be a punishment for the whole platoon," and another person will be like, "Oh, this recruit can finish it." They're like, "Oh, you wanna be a fat person, right?" So you used to stack their things all the way up here, and like, "Yeah, you're gonna shove it all in your face at one time."
Jeez.
But they couldn't
Yeah.
fit in there,
Yeah.
but they used to be like, "Hey yo, Nava," because they used to call me Nava.
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Hey yo, Nava, you gonna finish that?" Like, "Oh no, sir, I'm not gonna finish it." He's like, "Cool." He used to stick his thumb in it and give it to the other person. He's like, "Yeah, your fellow recruit over there sent you that for you. Eat it."
Damn, dude.
Or they used to like we used
That's
to or
crazy.
apples
Are they allowed to do? I mean, I guess they're allowed to do whatever they want, huh?
to not to whatever they want, but like to a certain extent. Because if I'm pretty sure like nobody minded because it was like a laugh out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they asked you like, "Oh, are you gonna eat that? Are you gonna eat that? Are you gonna finish that?" "Oh no, sir." And then they used to grab it off your plate and pass it on, but nobody ended up eating it.
Mm-hmm.
What they did used to make us do is eat the whole apple,
Like
everything,
seeds,
like the core and
stem,
everything.
core,
They're
everything.
like, "Yeah, that's protein for you. You're too skinny." But I mean, they used other type of languages. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna use.
obviously. Yeah, they love
But
to speak that kind of language over there. So I interrupted you. You were talking about. Okay, so you get through. Can you explain the phases of boot camp? Let's get
Yeah.
through for boot camp first.
so boot camp is
That's phase 1 you were just
no,
talking about?
that's phase 1. Phase 2, they what do we do in phase 2? So they switch your banners because we have what they're called guidons.
Mm.
So it's a stick with a spear on the top, like a spearhead,
Mm-hmm.
and it has your platoon number. So when you first get there, it's like red and yellow, and then they switch it to red, all red, and then I think the letters were yellow, and you just like you get more information. They give you more information. They like expect you to know more basic stuff like how to properly march.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the questions that they asked you, like, "Oh, do you remember who's a female Marine?" They expected you to know like your chain of command, like who was your commanding officer, assistant commander, your first sergeant, all the chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
And then third phase was in a different base. So after final drill, because we used to do drill, which was like marching around and doing specific movements with our rifles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so after final drill, you packed up all your like essential necessities, like your no, you didn't get that stuff issued to the second base, but like your blankets, your canteens, and all that you're gonna use up there.
Mm-hmm.
And they drive you probably like an hour up north of California, Camp Pendleton, and that's where basically if you make it there, you're three-fourths of the way done.
3/4.
Yeah, because the only way that you'll come back down is as a Marine already.
Okay.
But if you like get hurt or anything, then they'll send you back down, but you wouldn't be a Marine. You would just go back to with the next company that goes up, because they used to do rotations.
Okay.
So when you're up at Camp Pendleton for third phase, that's where you do like your final exam. Then you do the rifle range, which I hated because I got distracted and I shot horrible. I was probably like 2 points off failing.
Jeez.
Because I got distracted with my coach. He was talking to me. And you had like specific times. Like you had to shoot like a different amount of rounds in like 30 seconds or like a minute.
Different rounds as in different guns?
No, like...
or like a certain amount of rounds?
Certain amount of rounds.
Okay.
So I think it was like 140 for the whole range. And I got distracted when I was like towards the end. So like I didn't feel like my gun shifting, my rifle shifting.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, "Oh, hurry up, hurry up." He used to call me Chicago, my coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because he like all of them ask you like information because they're they're basically Marines that get like specifically trained to be coaches, so they don't like to be like butt heads to you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" and all that, and then teach you how to properly shoot the gun. So I shifted my gun, and he was like, "Oh, hurry up, Chicago, you're running out of time." So I just let all the rounds go, and then when they brought my target up,
Those last few rounds
yeah,
hurt
all
you.
the few rounds were all the way on top, and then like the rest of my shots were like in the black. And like 2 days later, they give you like your scores. And my drill instructor, I remember he was like, "Oh, where's Navarette at?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm right here, sir." He's like, "Dang, you shot so bad, man, so bad. Like, what are you even still doing here? Like, leave. That's horrible. Like, you're not my recruit." Like, they made me feel so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, you do some more like classes, and then you get yourself ready. You're basically like at that point you're exercising to get ready for what they call the crucible, which is like your final event.
Hell Week.
Yeah, because it's 3 days, 3 days, but it feels like forever. Because for my crucible, it was all sunny that week. But when we started, I think we started marching like at 5 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you take like everything because you're gonna be out there for like of course 3 days in like the wood, like in the basically
the
the
woods.
wilderness, but it's not really the woods. It's just like different stations in a specific route.
Okay.
And as soon as we stepped off, it started raining and raining and raining, and then it started hailing, and there was some pretty big ice.
Like that could knock you out.
Yeah,
You have helmets? You wear helmets
yeah.
or
We
no?
we, we had helmets on,
Okay.
but it wouldn't stop raining. So we marched through the rain. We did our like events. They make you climb like different obstacles. They make you think like as a group, and it basically prepares you to like probably experience combat
If you
if
need
you
to.
get lucky enough to experience combat. And
Dang, lucky enough?
I mean,
I don't
so
know
so
if you're lucky if you get the
so
experience.
it
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, for that, some people, I didn't really wouldn't say I didn't really care because I mean, if it happened, it happened. But I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I want to be to go to
Mm-hmm.
combat. A lot of people did. A lot of Marines, their mentality is like, oh, if you didn't go to combat or if you didn't see or like something horrific, then you really what was
A
your
Marine.
yeah, what was your purpose of joining? But for the for that they you do all your courses, like I mean the obstacle courses as a team, and when you're up there on Camp Pendleton for recruit training, they used to call it Greenbelt Land because the drill instructors, there was a senior drill instructor which were a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
He was basically like the one that oversaw everything. He made sure like all the recruits were good, and then there was between like 3 or 4 green belts, which were the ones that like was with you 24/7, like disciplined you when you needed discipline. And they used to call it Greenbelt Land over there because the senior drill instructors were never out there. It was rare to see them,
Mm-hmm.
so they used to just have fun up there. Like they used to do probably stuff that they weren't allowed to. But one thing they were allowed to do was like make you like drag yourself through the mud, which I hated
Mm-hmm.
because of course it was raining and it was a lot.
It was
of
raining all 3 days?
all 3 days. There was so much mud, so for them, of course, to have enjoyment, I'm pretty sure they used to be like, "Oh, yo, you three, go drag your heads in the mud, and if you don't do it properly, if you're not dirty enough, you're gonna do it until we say you're dirty enough." And it could be like 5, 6 times, and you're just like full of mud, and then you'll go to it's like a warehouse, and that's where you sleep. You bring like a mat that gets issued to you
Mm.
and a sleeping system. And that sleeping system, honestly, when I like after I got out of boot camp and went to like the fleet, I love that sleeping system because you get issued one different every time you leave, right?
Wait, what do you mean by sleeping like a bed?
No, it's like a sleep, like it's a mat, a thin, like probably that thin,
Uh-huh.
and you get like a sleeping system, which is like a sack with like a outer layer, and that's what you sleep on.
Okay.
So a lot of us used to use our like blouses, like our uniform shirt,
Mm.
as pillows because you didn't get issued pillows. The pillows stayed where we usually sleep, which were called the squad base.
Okay.
So I mean, we used to take our uniforms off and then switch undergarments. We used to like wipe ourselves down with wipes because we didn't have showers out there. And then, I mean, we couldn't wash our uniforms, so we used to just hang them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was raining day and
So
night, so it was already wet for the next morning. So in the morning, it used to be cold. So you put on some wet ass uniform.
bro, that's the worst thing ever, right there.
And I'm pretty sure it took us like a lot of us asked like because there was always somebody like awake keeping watch.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you went, there was always somebody keeping watch. So we used to ask the person that was on watch. It was usually a recruit. We'd be like, "Hey, yo, can you wake us? Can you wake a few of us up early enough so we could put our uniform on?" Because that thing was cold.
Yeah.
And after all that, you do all 3 days, and
What was the hardest part about the 3 days?
three-
I thought that you were up all three. I thought that it was you were up for I don't know 48 hours or
So,
something
I
like
mean-
that. That's what I thought it was.
So,
That's what they make it seem like.
It's kind of like that because you only sleep like probably like 3 hours, 4, and then
Okay.
you're awake for most of the day, but you only get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep during those 3 days.
Mm.
And then the part that really makes you like I guess ration yourself is you only get 3 MREs, which is meals ready to eat.
Okay.
So you only have 3 for 3 days. So
one a day.
so you have to ration it for it to last you for 3 meals one day, 3 meals one day, 3 meals one day.
Oh, three
So-
meals per day?
No, so it was 3 packets,
Okay.
and that packet usually had 1 meal worth.
Okay.
So if you wanted to eat in the morning, you have to pick what you're gonna eat that in the morning.
Like eggs or
Well, no, it wasn't eggs, so
oats.
it could end up being like pizza, white chicken chunks, beef gulag, which was
Dude,
the worst.
I figure you're in the Marines. They'd feed you better.
So when we were at MCRD, which was in San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
because Camp Pendleton is 2 hours north. So when you're at MCRD, when you're a regular day, yeah, they give you proper breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the morning, there was like eggs and what else? Like sausage, and then different lunch and dinner throughout
So it's just because you're in what is it? What did you say it was
the
called?
Crucible. Yeah,
Crucible?
it makes you like really think and ration yourself, and then like the final event, which by far was like, I guess it made me feel like prideful, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it. Was when you
Proud of yourself?
yeah, it made me extremely proud of myself when you climb the Reaper, which is a steep hill that you like go all the way up. But before you go up, your drill instructor gives you a speech,
Okay.
which is like they basically be like, this hill is the only thing between you and becoming a Marine.
Okay.
You better make this your girl, like charge it like you have some meaning. And we all raced up there, and then up there we have the EGA ceremony, which is an eagle glove and anchor that your drill instructor has on a little coffin,
Mm-hmm.
and they go one by one, and they give it to you in your hand, like congratulations, like you pushed through all this, you're officially a Marine. And then
Hell yeah.
like you just stand there, you get a speech by your first sergeant, and it's like one of the most like inspirational and motivating speeches that you'll ever get. And after that, you just climb back down, you go to your squad base, and you're basically a Marine already. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to say yes sir, no sir. You call them by their rank. So like there was staff sergeants, gunnery sergeant, you're like yes gunnery sergeant, no gunnery sergeant, and they stop yelling at you that much. Like they don't like yell at you at the top of their lungs.
You earned their respect.
Yeah, so you basically earn their respect. They're like, oh, like, but at the same time, you earn the respect, so they expect you to know how to behave.
Mm-hmm.
They expect you to know the knowledge that they ask you. So when you come back down to San Diego, because you go back to MCRD, I mean, all the recruits are forced to call you sir, which I mean, a lot of us like used to stand in front of them
Just as
just for them,
if
cause
hey.
cause a lot of them like are scared, and I was scared too, cause I used to ask questions, cause I saw a few people that were in my recruiting station
Mhm.
that were already Marines, and they will talk to me normally. They're like, "It's nothing, don't worry, like it's just mental," which a lot of it was. It's a lot of you have to have like mental strength,
Mhm.
cause a lot of the stuff they say, like, gets to people, which makes them heavily depressed, which is a big thing. And once you become a Marine, I mean, I thought it was just like kind of smooth after that. Then you graduate. I was probably like two graduations before COVID hit, so my
Yeah.
family was able to go, which just was like the perfect thing because I was able to see them. I spent a few hours with them before my actual graduation. You have, I think, like 8 hours with them before your graduation. Then you come back. You the next day you graduate, and then you pack all your stuff and then you leave. They give you 10 days, what's called boot leave. You get 10 days to come home, and then after those 10 days, you report to your second training, which is MCT back in
Mhm.
California. And then that's a whole nother thing, but it's only a month long, and a lot of stuff goes on there. A lot.
Tell me all about it. I remember when you came back for your 10 days. You didn't want to go back.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
You
Because I
did
mean,
not want to go back.
because like, even though it's only 3 months, and like a lot of people be like, "Oh, it's just 3 months." I mean, when you come back, you feel like you missed out on a whole lot of stuff in only
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
So, and it was during Christmas, so like it was like
Yeah, I
the best
remember.
time to be home. And I didn't want to go home because like, dang, like when is the next time I'm gonna see like my family? Because my recruiter, like, he was a good guy, but he fed like a lot of stuff into my head. You're like, oh yeah, like you can end up going like to combat, like people died through this and all that. Like, you ready for that? So I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna die. I could
Yeah,
die.
you you were scared. Yeah.
Absolutely, but you go to MCT for a month. Some people went for like less than that because it's called a fast cycle. But you basically MCT is Marine combat training, where you actually like do like, you shoot at night. You shoot 240 Bravos, which is like the machine guns, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And
Sounds
yeah,
like fun to me, but
it is.
I don't know.
But there, like, you're able to have your phone at that point, because in boot camp you're not allowed to have your phone for
Okay.
the whole 3 months. It's letter stamps. Like, people, by that time you're over there, your tongue is dry. You probably have cuts from all the envelopes you lick.
Mhm.
So in MCT you're allowed to have your phone, but depending on your company, they take your phone away and they only give it to you on the weekends. So luckily my company was able to keep it throughout the whole training, but only able to use it at night.
Mhm.
So they used to be like, okay, you guys are allowed to have your phones out for this amount of time. By the time the instructor comes out, you guys put your phones away, right? And the instructors that were MCT, at least my course, were like the coolest and chillest people. Like, they used to like crack jokes with us. Like, one of them said when he was teaching us the 240 Bravo machine gun,
Mhm.
he's like, "You guys know what? If I was to die in the Marine Corps, how would I like to die? Shooting a 240 Bravo and die on a pile of hot brass." And I was like, "Yes, I like
That's
that."
cool. That's cool.
And you stay there for a month. You do all they teach you how to use the radio, how to do land nav. What else do they teach you? Basically, how to do tactical, like, patrols. They take you to like this empty area where they teach you how to do patrols, um, and all that different stuff. And then from there, you go to your specific schoolhouse, which is for your job. My job was 3531, which is motor transportation operator. So I drove like big old trucks.
Oh, that's badass,
Yeah,
dude.
I like my trucks.
You get to drive trucks.
So there, I my schoolhouse was in Missouri, and
That's not too far
it
from
was
here.
not,
That's like
which
8 hours from here,
yeah,
no?
which was lucky because my family went out there to see me, like, I think twice.
Yeah.
So the schoolhouse, they teach you how to, like, actually, it's a lot. Like, by that time, I was more calm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, I got like sentimental when I saw my family, but my friends calmed me down. They're like, hey, like you're almost there, bro. You're almost there. You're almost
Yeah.
to the fleet. You're almost able to take leave whenever you want. So they teach you how to drive the trucks, which I learned how to drive a 7 ton of VSR, and that's it. And I
Okay.
was able to like get my license for a trailer. And
So you can drive CDL?
if I wanted to, the licenses that I have will make it easier for me to get my CDL than other people.
Okay.
So I'm able to get my CDL, and if I want to, I could be a truck driver. But I like being in the trucks, but after a while, you get tired of driving them
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of restrictions on them, which could get you in a lot of trouble if you violate them. So when you finish your training in your schoolhouse, they give you orders. So you go to a classroom, and they make you sign a paper that says where you want to go, but they give you like a big old speech that was like you could choose where you want to go, but it's not guaranteed because at the end of the day, it's where the Marine Corps needs you.
Right.
So you could get a preference of which coast, East Coast, West Coast, or you could go to Japan. But if you put Japan, most of the times you got sent to Japan because nobody wanted to go to Japan. But for me, it was COVID time, so nobody was getting sent to Japan. So it was either West Coast,
Or
East Coast, or Hawaii. And I put Hawaii, East Coast, no, Hawaii, West Coast, East Coast. Because I wanted to get stationed in Hawaii because pretty sure it was,
Hawaii. Yeah. Who would not
it's
want to go
Hawaii.
to Hawaii, right?
So I got California, which what they did, which a lot of us ended up finding out like when we were on the plane, is everybody that put West Coast got sent to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Everybody that put East Coast got sent to the West Coast. So I got sent to Camp Pendleton, which now that I think of, when I was in boot camp and all that, I used to pray to God, be like, give like, please God, send me to a unit that doesn't like deploy or anything,
Yeah.
like something that won't like prevent me from coming back home to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Because around that time when I graduated boot camp was like the talks of World War III, and oh yeah, like a lot of troops
around COVID.
yeah, a lot of troops
Mhm.
are going over there, and
Yeah.
they're getting sent. So when I got to my unit, it was like it was COVID. So I got there like at 2 in the morning again. I got picked up by like 3 corporals. They threw our stuff in the back of the trucks. They took us to base and back to our building where we were going to be staying at
Mm-hmm.
for the remainder of our contract. And then they made us sign like our information, how old we were, where we were coming from, and all that. And then they put you in quarantine for 14 days because you have to forcefully quarantine. And those
Is that because of COVID
Yeah.
or before that?
No, it's because of COVID. They had to make sure that that if you had COVID, your symptoms were like over with before you interacted with the rest of the Marines.
Okay.
So those 14 days, like, oh yeah, cool. Like you don't have to come out to work or anything.
Just chill.
Just chill. But it gets you pretty fast because they used to bring you your food. Like you couldn't go out. Like they'll bring you food, and half of that food was like booty. Like it could end up being like some cold like pot pie, like, or like some nasty spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
The best part of it was breakfast because it was always eggs, bacon, and a biscuit, and then a little jug from like elementary school milk.
The juice or milk?
Yeah, so they used to bring that to you, and then after 14 days, then like they inspect like your whole uniforms because you have to talk to like a first sergeant, which is a pretty high rank.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time I was a private first class, which was like one above like the lowest grade, and they look over your uniform, and that's when they saw like my shooting badge, which was like the lowest you could get, and the joke that they say is like pizza box because it looks like a pizza box, and they're like, "Oh dang, you shoot pizza box?" And I'm like, "Yes, I did, corporal." And they're like, "Don't worry, we'll get you straightened out." And they inspect all your stuff, and then you go see the first sergeant. Then you change into your uniform, and then you get introduced to like the whole unit, like who you're gonna be working with, the area you're gonna be working with,
Mm-hmm.
and they show you the ropes, and then you you clean your room because those rooms, I mean, it could have been like probably years before somebody moved in there, so they're pretty dusty. And I mean, it was pretty smooth most of the time. The days I did hate it was Thursdays because it was field day, which your corporals, which are NCOs, used to inspect your room every Thursday in the afternoon, and that's when they had fun because they. I'm pretty sure like a lot of them were looking forward to that because they used to yell at the top of their lungs, like used to play games with you, like, and when I mean games, it's like your room could have been clean, but if they saw like a crumb on your bed,
That's
they'll be like, oh, there's a crumb. Yep, that's 3 hits because they only let you like 3 hits. It's like, well, it's what it means. Like they found 3 things that were dirty.
Okay.
So if they found 3 hits, they'll be like, oh, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And the longest they were allowed to have you up was till 9 o'clock. But
30 minutes as in what?
we'll be back in 30 minutes. So they usually inspected us at 4.
Okay.
And if your room failed, they'll be back at 4:30.
Okay.
And then 5. The longest they could keep you was 9, 9:30. But a lot of them went past that. I remember one time we stayed up to like 12. And it was like little stuff like, oh yeah, like your doorknob's dirty. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. But a lot, like me and my friends, because I had like a little group that I got there with.
Okay.
And we used to like, whenever they kept us up, we used to keep them up as well. Because at the end of the day, that we were home, they still had to walk to their rooms, clean their rooms. Because then if their room's not clean, they get in trouble.
Right.
Me and my friends were already in our rooms. So when we knew that they were just like being like I guess assholes, they used to just be like, oh yeah, like we're just gonna mess with them. We used to mess with them back, so we used to bleach bomb our rooms so they'll pass us faster because they used to walk in there and their eyes will turn like bloodshot red. Like, oh, okay, we're out of here. Or when one of
what
us,
are bleach bombs?
so we used to like basically what it sounds
like spray a whole bunch of bleach?
Yeah, like we used to like, cause you're basically like a big boy there. Like you buy all your cleaning supplies, like all of it, like everything. So we used to buy like two things of bleach, so it would last us for a minute. Cause we like to keep our room clean all like most of the time.
Yeah.
So when it was inspection, we used to just put as much bleach as we could handle, and just clean everything. And then when they walked in there, they would just
smell all the bleach,
and then they would just leave. And then if one of us passed and the other ones didn't, we used to play like some loud ass music, loud, and that used to annoy them. And by that time, we're already changed into like regular clothes, and we don't have to like be like yes corp or no corp when we're in regular clothes. So they'll knock on our door, they'll still be in uniform, like, oh, turn that down. I was like, no, I'm in my room, you already passed me, it's past the time, so you go do whatever you gotta do. So but I liked my job. I was able to get some experiences out of it. So I went to Texas for 3 months.
That's cool.
Yeah, all paid. I stayed at a hotel room all to myself. I helped give vaccines in Texas for COVID, which got me, I think, 3 ribbons. I was probably like the saltiest person after a while because nobody else had the amount of ribbons I had, which I kind of like, oh yeah, like how many ribbons do you have? Well, I have 6. So I used to throw in people's faces,
right?
Because they used to throw like their rank at me. They're like, oh yeah, but you're not this rank. I'm like, I still look better than you because I have more ribbons.
Yeah.
But
they're worth more, I'm assuming, because
I mean, they're it makes you look good on like promotion boards. Because if you had more ribbons than a sergeant, then the sergeant was doing something wrong. Which I had more ribbons than most of my sergeants. I think 2 sergeants had more than me, but it's because they actually did stuff. But like I had more ribbons than my corporals, a lot of ribbons than most of the people that were the same rank as me. So when I went to promotion panels, they're like, oh, why do you have so many ribbons but you haven't got promoted? I'm like, because I don't like the leadership and I'm not gonna basically submit to them. Because it could be all sunshine and like beautiful, but at the end of the day, if you have toxic leadership, then it makes your experience bad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I had pretty mild leadership, but towards the end it was pretty toxic because
Yeah.
what they said is it's not what you do, it's what who you know. So all the people that worked in offices were like the favorites of the platoon. So they got put on promotion panels before other people.
Mm-hmm.
I got lucky enough to be put into the office, but at a lower standard. So I wasn't really anybody's favorite. I'm gonna be honest, because I didn't like to submit to them. I told them from straight on. I was like, I'm not gonna submit to you the way you are. If
Mm-hmm.
I get promoted, I get promoted. If I don't, I don't. Cause I used to always tell them I don't believe in them in your methods,
Right.
which was basically like bully everybody around. Cause I mean I was a bully, but I used to bully people for like actual reasons. Like if I saw somebody else, if I saw them bullying somebody, I used to bully them.
Right. Right.
Cause
For the right, for the right reasons.
yeah, but I I I, I don't want to say I was like a big shot there, but a lot of people did respect me because of the way I stood up for people. Because if somebody had a problem with the leadership, they used to always come to me.
Yeah.
They know I would go talk to them, and they didn't really, I guess, like yell at me for coming up to them because they knew I had like I was right for what I was bringing.
Right.
So a lot of people were used to come with me to me for I guess like problems and all that.
That's cool. They would come to vent to you.
A lot of people did because one thing I did is like I told every new person that used to come to the unit,
Mm-hmm.
if y'all need anybody to talk to, if y'all need help with anything, you could come to me. Because I was never doing anything. I was always the one that was like,
The neutral.
yes, I was always the one being like the designated driver when people wanted to go out and drink
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So I was like a pretty familiar face. People knew that if they wanted to do something or they needed help with something, they could
You
come
were
to me.
like a safe,
Mhm.
safe
Yeah.
environment, safe guy. That's cool, dude. That's really cool. Proud of you for that. Um. So what did you imagine it to be like? And then you already told me what it's like. So what did you imagine it to be like before you went?
So honestly, I thought it was like the movies. You know, like the the base that you're gonna be stationed in. And it's like some like a half a can that you're staying in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like everything's like dirt lots. Like you're driving everywhere like in dirt lots, which
Yeah.
I don't know why. I should just research like how does like the military bases look, but that always like
I still imagine them like that. I don't know what they look like.
for a
They
good
look
while.
normal?
Yeah, it just looks like a enclosed city. Like they have like a big store, which is the MCX, where you can find like house appliances, uniform stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then in another corner they have like McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Panera,
Mm-hmm.
different like different restaurants that are authorized to be on base, and then it's just like a little small city. Like everything's like the houses that you like people that were married stayed in were like secluded from the training areas. But when you went up to like those houses, it was just like a little neighborhood. Like
Mm-hmm.
you saw like kids running in the playground because they had playgrounds for kids there.
Okay.
But it's like nothing like I expected. Like I thought it was just gonna be like no buildings, nothing like that.
Yeah. Like how we see in the movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you think your time in the military affected you? Like
So I mean, it changed me in different ways. It made me more mature. I left to the military when I was
18, no?
I enlisted when I was 17, and I left 3 months after my 18th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So 17, 18, all the way till 22. It affected me. It made me mature because it made me take care of my finances. Because before I used to just spend it on whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now I control my finances. I guess I'm like more better at like speaking because before I probably wouldn't even be able to speak normally on like stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
But it also affected me like in a bad way because I'm pretty sure like my hearing got affected from all like the noises.
Yeah.
And for a while I was going like to a therapist because I did get like told that I had anxiety and depression because
Mm-hmm.
what they don't tell you is like the stuff that you're gonna see there. Because while I was there, uh, luckily I didn't see any, but there was a lot of suicides in the area. There was one that like affected a lot of people and like opened their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a I forgot his rank, but he was 19. He was in for 19 years.
Oh.
He only needed one more year to be able to retire,
Oh my
and
goodness, dude.
it got to him. So he killed himself in the parking lot.
That sucks.
So I mean,
So close.
yeah, it affected me in different ways. It did affect me some ways in a bad way. I saw three people from my unit. I worked with one very closely.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him, not very closely because I didn't see him like that often, but he was always in like the ranges because he was an ammo tech. He was one of the sergeants.
Okay.
He and two other people died in a car crash, and like probably like 2 in the morning. I forgot what day, but they that one hit everybody hard because a lot of people that I worked with knew him
Mm-hmm.
or knew one of the three people that were with him. So I mean,
Yeah, we see a lot.
I got some good stuff out of it, but at the same time, it did affect my mental health a
Mm-hmm.
while because my parents have also told me that I don't really show emotions anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
Since
could,
you're back.
yeah, since I'm back, like uh my brothers and my parents could be like arguing, and I'm just sitting there like watching the TV, and then my parents like, why don't you like react to them? Like, cause like
You're used to it.
I'm like I'm used to the yelling, but like I guess I see like the stuff that they argue about as like little stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really react to it. But I mean, it's some people got better experiences than what I got,
Right.
uh, but some people got worse. One of my friends saw like actual stuff happen, but at the end of the day, a lot of people say it's what you make of it. I try to make
The best.
the best out of it with the people I had. So
That's good. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's the military.
yeah.
That's what it is. Um, what are some things that you learn about yourself? I know you
Um,
just mentioned a little bit about it, but more
um,
discipline, more.
I guess like I did become a little bit more like disciplined and stuff. Like I do like I didn't used to listen a lot to my parents,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean 4 years away from them, not being it because I only saw them once a year, and that was during Christmas. Because I told them that I would miss any other holiday. I would even miss their birthdays, but as long as I spent Christmas with them, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I was able to spend Christmas with them. So what I mean, it taught me how to value them more, but I also helped me like I guess detach from them.
Yeah.
Cause before I used to follow like my parents everywhere, like oh you trying to come to this, come to that. And I always used to say yes, but now, I mean I just be
You're
like
more independent.
yeah I'm like not no I would just stay behind or like
Yeah.
I'll go this way and you guys could go that way. So it taught me more like self
Yeah. How to be
evaluation
independent. Yeah.
basically.
Independent. Independence.
Yeah.
Whoa. Um. Yeah, that's good, dude. That's Do you? Oh, this is a good one. I wanna. Do you still follow the same routine? I know you had a really crazy routine out there. Do you still have that? Do you still like? I don't know if you wake up at 4 in the
So
morning,
absolutely not.
but.
Absolutely not. So I mean our schedules over there change depending on the day. So usually we'll wake up if we had training in the morning, like workout. We used to work out at like 5 to 6, and then be at work at 7:30.
Mhm.
Most of the time we got off at 4:30, which was the usual time. Sometimes you got off at 3:30, and then
Okay.
from there it was like after you got off of work, as long as you made it like sound and safe to work at 7:30, you could do whatever you want after 4:30.
Mhm.
So right now, I guess I wake up what like at 8. So technically it's 6 o'clock California time, So I guess I kind of do, but I like same schedule, not really, because I mean, I don't I don't go to work right now. I'm just
Yeah, you're still just
still
getting
looking.
out of the
Yeah.
military life.
So I mean, I follow somewhat the same schedule because I go to sleep at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty late.
You always want to sleep late over
Oh
there?
yeah, I used to
Yeah.
over there. I used to fall asleep probably like 11, but that's because either I had like coffee like late at night because
Mhm.
I used to go to the gym out there pretty late because it used to be empty. I used to like love the gym being empty,
Mm-hmm.
so I used to go pretty late, and like the coffee or the pre workout was still in my system.
Oh yeah.
Or
Tell me about the pre-workout in your system
Yeah.
at night, dude. You're trying to go to sleep so bad and you can't. You're just like
Yeah.
awake.
I
Yeah,
used to
that
just
sucks.
stare at the ceiling, be like, when it's coming out. I used to probably go on another run,
Mm-hmm.
try to get it out, or I just couldn't sleep. Just couldn't sleep because of,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. My brain just didn't want to go to sleep.
Yeah. Do you still work out? What routine
So,
do you use to work out?
I used to, I mean, right now I don't look like I work out. I'm pretty fat right
Nah,
now,
it's
but
all good, bro.
I had like a little routine going because I used to go to the gym with a few of my buddies here and
Mhm.
there, but probably I want to say 6 months ago, I fractured my foot, and I was in a boot for 3 months. Then
You were still able to work?
I was still able to work.
That's
I
good.
used to just walk around in a boot. Didn't really let me do too much because I had an open toe shoe, and
Mhm.
the area that I work at in was closed toe shoe with a steel toe
Mhm.
because stuff could fall at any moment. And then I got out the boot, and then like 2 months later, I refractured it doing a obstacle course. So that took me off for almost like a year because I was in a boot for another 4 months.
Damn.
So, and during all that time, I couldn't work out because,
Yeah, you need your foot to work out.
yeah. And then, I mean, I could have worked out upper body, but the way that they look at like you working out when you're injured, they're like, oh, yeah, he's lying about his injury.
Oh, okay.
And then that could open up an investigation. I didn't want to any
Yeah, you didn't
problems, so I
want.
just didn't work out. So, but I mean, I used to be on a pretty good schedule. Probably go to the gym at 8, get out of the gym at 10, and then go to sleep, then wake up, go to work, same thing. And I was seeing some results, but then all that happened.
Yeah.
So
You gonna get back into it? Are
Absolutely.
you clear now with your foot?
yeah,
That's cool.
I probably got cleared like 2 months before I left the military, but I had some homies in the medical field that were like, "Yeah, we'll talk to your command and tell them to take it easy on you because it could still refracture."
Yeah.
And then my last month, I didn't really do any like physical work because they do a final physical on you to like evaluate from when you came into when you got out, see what was wrong with you, and after that, you can't like your command's not allowed to like make you work out or anything because you can't get hurt.
Right.
So
So then the last almost year you didn't really do much.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
which I absolutely loved.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. You worked hard for what, 3 years?
Yeah,
That's good. Do you miss anything about the military?
my friends.
Your friends?
I
They're all from all over the country.
yes. One of my friends is from Jamaica. They're from Mexico, Texas.
Mexico, like live in Mexico?
So they
Or Mexico City?
so
Or
no,
Mexico, New Mexico?
no, they're from Mexico, but they moved to like Texas, and then they like used to
Go back and
go
forth.
back and forward. But yeah, they're like Texas, Connecticut, Missouri, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But I always tell them like, do they tell me, do you miss it? I'm like, I don't miss the work life, like the toxic leadership or anything, but I miss my friends because
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, they made it worth it. Like the stuff that we did after work, like we used to go like to parties, and there were mansion parties or like little parties here and there, and we used to like live it up over there, or we would just end up chilling at the beach, like at 2 in the morning,
Yeah, just
eating,
living life, bro.
talking
Having a
about
great
life.
time. Yeah,
So yeah, I absolutely like miss all my friends. I still stay in contact with a few of them.
that's cool. Yeah, you gotta stay in contact with
Yeah.
them, bro. They're your brothers. Do you know anything about Area 51?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I had to ask, bro.
Absolutely. I don't know anything.
Did you wish you found out something?
I mean, I'm pretty sure if I found out something, I probably wouldn't even be here. I'd probably
Yeah, that's
be
true.
in a storage
They're
room.
probably watching this right now, like
Probably, yeah.
trying to see if you
My
know
phone's gonna go
something.
off. Be like, don't say nothing.
Yeah, for real. Are there any conspiracies in the military that we don't know about as civilians?
Like what?
Like, well, Area 51, but aliens, like.
I mean, they just recently came out with the aliens are real. So
Yeah, I know.
conspiracy theories. I mean, we talk about it here and there. I know there was a staff sergeant. He used to love talking about conspiracy theories. That's how we got out of work sometimes too.
Just talk to him.
Yeah, we
about
used to be like, hey, I'm not trying to do too much today. Let's go look for staff sergeant. Be like, oh, staff sergeant. Did you hear about this conspiracy theory? And he's like, conspiracy theory, devil dog. Come sit down. I'm gonna teach you about conspiracy theories. And we could talk there for hours. And then they used to like come and try to yell at us, and they're like, I'm talking to him. How about you leave? And it was the best time. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
I mean, we talk about like we always used to be like, hey, you think like the United States is going to war with Mexico, or like it's Japan and all that.
The whole thing with BRICS.
Yeah, we used to be like, probably, and then we used to just argue who will win. Like, oh yeah, Mexico will win because of this, or no, the U.S. will win because of that. So, I mean, we didn't really conspiracy theories on like actual problems, because we weren't allowed to really talk about politics. It was
That's good.
Yeah, it was against basically the code of the uniform, basically. So not to I mean,
that's a good thing. It's good that they don't bring politics into it.
I mean, they bring politics.
You said they bring politics, all right.
They keep it pretty tight down with who hears them, because I mean, a lot of people don't talk around certain peoples because they know that they talk, because there was a good amount of snitches around. So if they heard you talking about something that they didn't like, you go straight to an officer, to like a hiring person, and then a lot of people got in trouble. But,
and what happens when you get in trouble? Do you like do push-ups or?
Oh no. So
what's the discipline like out there?
So like platoon level, probably like working out, like heavy, like probably like running up a hill or something. More serious, probably like legal problems, like NJP, which is a non-judicial punishment, which is like, if you get that, then you did something horribly bad, like got like a DUI or something like that. But luckily my unit didn't get a lot of those. Well, we probably only had like 2, but it was just probably like platoon level, which we stayed extra time. We cleaned out the trucks, all the trash that was inside of it. We stayed late at work or something, so it was nothing like too big. Cause like I said, it was like big boy rules. Like you have to own up to like your mistakes. And some of them were pretty lenient. Like, oh yeah, like just don't do it again, cause like that's some little boy stuff. So punishments were
nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Would you re-enlist? I think I already know the answer to that.
So there's some times where I think about it. Like right now, I don't think I'll re-enlist, just because I don't like the way that stuff is getting.
What if you go to a different? I'm not saying like. What if you were to go to the army instead? You think it'd be the same thing?
No, it wouldn't be the same thing, because they have like different standards. Basically, I'm not bashing on the army or anything. They just have different standards than the Marines. So some things that like the Marines don't like or allow, the army could allow. Like I think if I'm correct, either the army, like the Navy, allows you to grow your facial hair. Like the Marines, it's like you clean face, or you have to have like a medical condition that makes you like not have to shave.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've been thinking about it, like probably the army or the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'm just probably just gonna see like the next 2 years. I'm gonna take the next 2 years to like make up my mind, see if I like being back into the real world, or
Yeah.
do I go back into the military?
What are you thinking about doing right now?
So I'm trying to go back to school, trying to become a nurse,
That's cool.
and but right now I'm trying to find a job,
Yeah.
while I wait.
What with the licenses that you have and that you got from the Marine and all the experience, what can you do right now?
I mean, so the good thing about like being prior military is like you could work like as a policeman. Uh, for my specific like licenses, I could be a CDL driver, like a truck driver. I mean, or postman, or different. Like I have some administrative background, so I could be like a administrator or something,
Mm-hmm.
or a bookkeeper, or like
Which still you got to do a little bit of school to do some of those,
yeah,
but you got like a little bit of an advantage.
yeah. And then like certain courses or certain things you do during the military could give you college credits.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have like 6 college credits or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, it works both ways.
That's cool. That sounds fun. Um, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna ask you another question that I forgot. Any advice to anybody that's thinking about enlisting, that's in high school right now, or
I mean, just think about it pretty good. If it's something that you want to do, because a lot of people do it because they come from a long line of armed forces people. A lot of people have family members that were in the Marine Corps
yeah.
or the Army. I mean, if it's something that you've been wanting to do since you were a kid, by all means, if you want to do it. But just think it through, because it's a big life decision, and I feel like I have thought about it. So that's why I just joined out of like on the
Yeah, I
spot.
feel like you joined like, let me
Yeah,
just join.
I just
You didn't really think about it too
Yeah.
hard,
So I mean, if they're gonna do
which
it,
is good that you got through it, dude. I feel like if you join like that and with the conditions that they give you, I feel like you wouldn't have made it.
I mean, a lot of people when I was in boot camp, they'd like leave. I think in my platoon it was like 3 people. One of them got out probably like 4 days in, because he said he got shin splints and he missed home. So my drill instructor was like, "Wow, cool," and he picked me out. Like out of all of them, he was like, "Hey, yo, Navarre, go walk him to the main building, because when you get out, or like you get processed out,
Mm-hmm.
without it being like the end of your contract, you have to return everything. Like they inventory everything, so they have a list of everything they issued you.
Yeah.
They inspect and make sure it's there, and then they give you all your regular clothes that you came in with, and then
Dang,
they
dude.
send you on your way.
The walk of shame.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that, dude. I'd like.
I mean, I thought about it. Like honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I thought about quitting a few times,
Mm-hmm.
but my drill instructors and a few of my friends were like, "Dude, like you can't do that, dude. Just stick it out. Uh, like think about how you look when you get home. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah, bro. That's the thing
or,
that would
yeah,
stop me from quitting, bro.
yeah.
Like,
Because they used to be like, hey, like just imagine, like everybody thinks like it's expecting you to be like away for 3 months, and then they see you like within a month or a few weeks. They're like, oh, what happened? And then at that point, you got to be like, oh yeah, I decided to quit.
yeah, dude.
And I was like, yeah, like it's a pride thing. I couldn't do it.
Freaking loser.
Yeah.
I would not be able to. I'd be so disappointed in myself.
My drill instructors were, because I wasn't like the best person in boot camp either. I like after I got like I'm not gonna say I got comfortable, because you can't be comfortable there, but once I got used to it, I was like an asshole to them too. I used to laugh when I wasn't supposed to. Like I used to get like they used to make me like do push-ups or like jumping jacks, and they thought like they were getting to me, but they're like, oh, you're enjoying this. I'm like, I'm absolutely enjoying this, sir. And then they're like, what you say? I was like, I'm enjoying this, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Just to mess with them.
Yeah, and then they used to like keep me up there so much longer. But I mean,
It is what it
it
is.
is what it is.
Nah, you gotta have fun with it, dude.
What will I do it again? No, but do I regret joining? No.
No, yeah. I mean, it's a life experience that you got. Nobody's gonna take away what you learned out
Absolutely
there.
not. That's what they
Nobody will
say.
take it away.
You that's one thing about the Marines. They also say like you could get out the service, but you'll always be a Marine. And I mean, even when I tell people that was a Marine, they're like, dang, like I almost
Yeah,
they give you the I almost joined, and I'm like, okay, you almost
you
joined.
almost
Yeah.
chill there, buddy. Chill.
It's a with that saying, it's like a inside joke in all the military, especially the Marines. It's like, oh, there goes a I almost joined. So, because we give people a hard time.
or they come up with like, man, I would have joined, but I broke my foot,
Yeah,
or something like that. You know.
When I was recruiting with with my recruiter, I made a few calls, and one thing that they all used to always say was, "Oh yeah, he died. He's no longer alive, man." And I'm like, but my recruiter just told me that he saw him at school 2 days ago. No, yeah, he died yesterday. He died yesterday.
Damn.
Or
But he would answer the student would answer
no.
that way,
So
or
most
the parents.
so I also got a few students too that I used to call them. I'm like, oh yo, yeah, you're about to graduate, dude. Like, have you thought about what you're gonna do after high school? I'm with the Marines. And as soon as I'm pretty sure they were on loudspeaker, because as soon as they heard that, the parents would jump in. Say, no, he's not interested. He's going to college, and then they'll just hang up.
Damn.
Or another one they'll say is like, oh yeah, he's in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair. He's disabled. He can't go. He got ADHD, or he got anxiety.
Yeah, there's some parents that don't want them to join.
And I used to be like, oh yeah, but we could work around those things.
Yeah.
We like anxiety, ADHD. There's waivers for that. So
Yeah.
I used to try to get them, and they're like, oh no, he's not interested. So
What do they incentivize you for recruiting? Because
so,
I know those recruiters definitely got to make some money, bro. They thirsty to get you in.
So I don't know like incentive wise for like the recruiters for like, but like when I was still waiting to ship, and it's called the Poolie program, because you're a Poolie before you ship out to boot camp. So if you brought 2 people that's like signed a contract, you'll get promoted to like
Quickly.
In boot camp, you'll go as a contract PFC. So when you become a Marine, instead of being a private, you are a PFC. And there was also more incentives in boot camp. So if you were like a squad leader or a guide, you'll get promoted. So if you went in as probably as a PFC, you could come out as a Lance Corporal, which that was like praised upon because you did something good. So incentive wise for the recruiters, I never knew what they got, but I know they had like a certain amount of people they had to recruit a month. But I don't know about incentives.
That's cool. I would imagine that they get like a bonus or something.
Probably. I asked, but they just never answered it. They're like, yeah, man, I'll tell you later. Later never came. So they probably got something out of it.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's kind of like credit cards.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, refer a friend, you get $500 or something like that, you know?
Yeah, probably.
Get them to get in with you and suffer with us.
And then you also got like a shirt or a duffel bag if you brought people in. I got a duffel bag once, but just because I kept asking my recruiter for one. I never brought anybody in. Because, well, I did like refer some people, but my recruiter used to always be like, damn, dude, you sent me the fat ones, bro. Like, why? Because like a lot of recruiters, like they talk to you like a normal person, but there's a few that like wanted you to call them by their rank. But like my recruiter used to be like, god damn, dude, like why you send me the fat ones, bro? Like, can't you send me like a football star? And I'm like, he's a football star.
He doesn't. Yeah, you know, he's gonna go to the NFL. He don't want to. And I mean,
all like my school was like all D1 football players, basically like basketball stars and all that were all fit. So he's like, why don't you just talk to one of the football players? I'm like, if I talk to one of the football players about the Marines, they'll just probably laugh at me and just be like, yeah, dude, you're crazy.
Yeah. I didn't want to join the military. For a minute in like middle school, I did think about it. But then I was like, nah, I don't want to.
I almost didn't go actually. So when I was about to, I think either the first time I went to the processing station or second time, I was telling my mom, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do this no more. And she's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We could just walk out right now and just tell your recruiter that you didn't want to do it no more. And I'm like, no, I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail.
Oh, once you sign that contract, you.
I don't think so, because I know there's a few people that just didn't show up, but I just was like, I didn't know like the stuff I know now.
Yeah.
So I thought I was gonna go to jail. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to jail. They're gonna look for me. The FBI's gonna come for me. And all that. So, yeah, there's a few times that I just wanted to not go before, because I'm not gonna lie. Most of the times when I was like before I shipped out, I used to just like, oh yeah, I'm going to the Marines. I'm going to the Marines. But the day before I left, I'm like, dude, today's like my last full day here. And then tomorrow I'm not here no more.
Yeah. You start overthinking it a little.
Oh, I overthinked it for a lot.
Yeah.
Like it was bad.
That is a lot more common than you think. Mental health. You said that you had to go to a therapist for a little bit. Was that because of what you saw or because how they treated you?
So I mean, it's not really how they treated me, because I'm not. They did like, I guess you could say they did bully me a little, and a lot of people, because technically bullying is against like the policies, but nobody's gonna snitch.
You just can't avoid bullying, dude.
Yeah,
nowhere.
That's the thing. Yeah, you can't avoid it. Which that's why, I like didn't say anything. But they tell you to say something about bullying, but they're not gonna say anything just because if it's like a higher up that's doing it, a lot of people are scared of like repercussions.
Yeah, obviously.
Because if you get them in trouble, they're like, "Oh, you got me in trouble.
Yeah,
we're gonna make it 10 times worse."
Yep.
So, I mean, I just
you kind of just have to take it.
The reason I went is probably is because of the stuff I heard, right? Like all the like suicides, right, and all that. But also like being away from home, like not missing out of on birthdays, because like now that I look at it, like I missed a lot of my brother's childhood,
Yeah,
and like them growing up. I came back to I left when my brother was in what 7th, 8th grade, and now he's about to graduate high school.
Yeah.
So I missed all of that. So thinking about that when you're over there, being 2,000 plus miles away from home, it gets to you. And for a while, I put it off. I'm like, oh, it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
To the point where I thought about like hurting myself, and it got to the point where I literally sat down, and I was like, yo, I can't think about that stuff. So I'm gonna go look for help, which they advocated. Like a lot of people advocated, oh, go get help, go get help. Don't be scared to go get help. But they also look down on it. There's a lot of
like, oh, you pussy.
There's a lot of units and a like a lot of Marines that like think that you're not a Marine, or like you can't handle stuff like rough stuff if you go to therapy, which a lot of people in my unit needed. And like me as like their peer and their friend, I'm like, don't listen to what they say. Go get help if you're gonna get help, or if you need help. And I went to go get help. A few of my friends went to go get help, and it helped a lot, because I was able to get like what I had on my mind that day, like out to my therapist, and she used to give me like advice, be like, oh yeah, you could do this, or if you get stressed, you could use these methods to de-stress, which it kind of helped a lot, because I would say my personality and my mood changed a lot at work after I started going to therapy.
I feel like I need therapy, and it's not that I'm like thinking about hurting myself or anything. It's just like you said, like it helps with stress, it helps with anxiety, it helps get whatever you got going through, I guess, put it into words and get it out there, you know. I feel like everybody needs therapy. It'd be good, you know. Not like it shouldn't be frowned upon. I don't think so. I think everybody should be able to express themselves and their feelings and talk to somebody.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I'm thinking about getting back into it too.
yeah, yeah. I keep seeing, and now on TikTok, my phone is listening to me right now. It's
Yeah.
gonna come. I'm gonna get an ad about BetterHelp.
Yeah.
But hey, BetterHelp, sponsor this video, bro. Sponsor the
No.
podcast. Did it affect your relationship with God? Like,
Absolutely.
did you because even hold on, even me being here home, sometimes I feel far from God. So
Absolutely.
I can only imagine how hard it was for you out there.
So yeah, it made me very very distant from God. Since I went to the church that like we go to, right?
Right.
And after I left, I went to the church in boot camp, and after boot camp, I probably didn't go to church for like 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and some of it was because I didn't have a car for like a year when I got to my unit,
Mm-hmm.
but also just because I used to always be like, oh yeah, you know what, I'll just go next week, and then
Yeah.
I just kept saying that, and I just feel like I pray I got
You get busy with life.
yeah, I mean yeah, but at the same time it's also like I guess I put other stuff or stuff that like my friends were doing, or let's go to the beach,
Mm-hmm.
or let's go out to eat and all that, and I just put like church I guess last, and I put all the other stuff first. So it made me pretty distant from God.
It's like the way I experience it sometimes. This is like right now, hunting season's coming up, and I know, bro, I slack. October, November, I slack because I prioritize hunting, which is not good, right? But then it's also like my time where I take my break, and I still pray, and like, if anything, I pray more when I'm out there because it's just I sit on the tree and I'm just chilling, and you feel the breeze. You're just in nature, and so like I actually feel a little bit more connected with my prayer when I'm out there on the tree
Mhm.
than like if I'm out here praying or whatever. So I feel like yeah, you're living life. You gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this. You kind of, and the more you're distant, the easier it is to
Mhm.
be distant. You forget
Yeah.
about it. You don't even think about it. You don't pray. Nothing, unless something happens
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like Lord, you start
I
praying.
used to remember. I remember that when I was about to go like on ranges, because you have to qualify every year for your rifle.
Mm.
I used to hate range. Like that's like the
I
worst
feel
thing.
like I would love range, dude. You
So I
go
mean,
out there and shoot. I love
so
shooting.
I used to think it. Like I always overthink the range, because I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna shoot bad. I've been shooting bad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I used to always like when range time came around, I'm like, oh, please let me get like a good score. Let me get a good
Mm-hmm.
score. And or like when something important needed to happen, I used to just pray.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to tell my mom about that. And she's like, you really think if he's gonna hear you or like listen to you if you haven't gone to church, or you only go like during the specific times that you need him?
But the great thing about him is that he does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
But that's our guilt. What is it? Our shame. Well, it's the enemy trying to shame us
Yeah.
because he like God's always gonna be there for us. But yeah, dude, it's true. Have you heard this song called I don't? What is it called? It's by Jelly Roll. Have you listened to that artist?
Mm-mm.
It goes like I only talk to God when I need a favor. I think that's what it's called.
No, I haven't
Something
heard
like
it.
that. Need a favor, I think is the name of the song. It's a good song, bro. It it talks about how you only pray to God when you need a favor.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's like it's so true. Sometimes you literally only remember about, which it's so bad in our end, but it's true, bro.
Yeah.
And we got to be better than that, but God's super what is the word that I'm looking for? His grace.
Yeah.
He's graceful. That's the word. But yeah, bro, anything else you want to talk about? I'm pretty much out of topics and things. This has been super interesting, and I hope you guys have been enjoying and learned something from our fellow Marine here. It's been super interesting, and I didn't know anything about that stuff. Those are things that we don't know, and it's good to know. Now I know, and hey, maybe my kid in the future wants to be a Marine.
I'm
I'll
not
have
letting
some.
my kids.
No?
No,
Wait, you say you're not having kids?
I'm not letting my kids.
Oh, you're not letting your kids. Oh, okay. Well, why is that? Because of your experience?
I mean, from my experience, and then I just I don't think I want like my kids to go through that.
Yeah. That's hard. It's tough.
It's tough. I mean, I'm not saying this wasn't like a fun experience because it was, but I just maybe it'll change in the future. My opinion on it, but
Mm-hmm.
for right now, if I have kids anytime soon, I probably won't let them unless they're like 18 or 19 where they won't need
make
like
that
parental
decision
consent.
on their own.
Then they could choose it.
You
But
thinking about having kids anytime soon?
nah,
That's
I don't know.
the same way I feel. Bro.
I need to be financially stable first.
Yep.
That's the way I see it.
Yep.
Like have my career set,
Yep.
and financially stable where I could bring kids into the world and not worry about it. I want to be able to not even they're like, oh, can I get this? Not even look at the price and just swipe.
I know, bro. I know. It's hard out here, bro. That's hard. It's expensive. Jeez, dude.
I mean, for me right now, since I just came back, I mean,
we didn't talk about that. Do they pay good out there in the military?
So it depends. It depends. So
I forgot to ask.
Of course, the higher in rank you go, the more you pay, like more money you get.
Okay.
But
so it's all by ranks.
Some of it, but if you get married, that's why a lot of people got married pretty early in 18, 19. Because if you're a married person in the military, you get paid what's called BAH, which is like housing allowance. So if you live on base, they
provide a house.
They provide a house for you, but they give you like extra money. So you could be making probably like $800 at one point, but then you get married and all that, and you're probably making like $2,500.
Jeez, that much? Well, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
I mean,
but then if you live off base, you get like $3,000 a paycheck, because you have to pay for like your rent off base and all that. But I mean, a lot of like people's pay skyrocketed once they got married, and that's what like they liked. Because I mean, you're making probably like what, like $2,000 after they take the money for like the house. Because they used to take the money if you lived on base.
Mm-hmm.
They used to take the money out automatically, and you'll never see it. So all the money that you were like getting paid was for you. So a lot of people used to be like buying cars or like project cars and all that.
2,000 a week?
Every 2 weeks.
Oh, so $1,000 a week.
Basically.
Okay.
But we got paid like
bi-weekly.
So you get like 2,500, 2,300.
Mm-hmm.
But it also depended on like how long you were in the like the rank. Cause me, I like around the time I was about to get, I was making like 1,300.
Okay.
A paycheck. So a lot like other people that were like my rank that had just got promoted were probably making like $800, $900.
Mm-hmm.
And to a certain point, I was making more than the rank above me.
Okay.
Because if you're not married and you're a corporal, you're probably getting paid like $1,056 to $1,056.
Mm-hmm.
And I was making $1,300.
Which I feel like it's good money, but I feel like it's not, because you're in the military. Like, you're freaking working. I feel like you're working 10 times harder than we are.
I mean, yeah,
as civilians.
Because I mean, as civilians, we have like what, 9 to 5, and you get paid for overtime.
Right.
We only had like a guaranteed start time, which was 7:30.
And then no end time.
Sometimes you could go like they'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get off at 4:30 today. Expect to go home at 4:30. we could end up getting off at 6, 7, 8,
Oh my
and
goodness.
you don't get paid extra for that. You just get paid
It's salary
the
basically.
salary. But the other good thing is like in the civilian world, you get paid for the hours you work.
Mm-hmm.
I could be off work or go to work for 3 hours and I still get paid
You get
the rest of the day.
salary.
What they used to say is like I get paid to sleep, eat, shower. I
Mhm.
like that. That was the good
It's
thing
the
about it.
guaranteed salary
Yeah.
no matter what you're doing because you're in
Yep.
base.
And then when you went home on leave, you got paid extra
Hmm.
because they return the money that they take for your food, which is like $400, $500, and then they paid you like housing because you weren't living under the roof they provided, so they gave you extra money. So when you were
Dang.
on leave, your paycheck they come out a little bit bigger.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks that you don't make as like. I get why they pay more if you're married.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now you're providing for two, but as a single man, you should still be able to make good money.
I mean, there's a lot of like single higher rank people,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, probably if you're like the highest rank, which is like a sergeant major, and you're single, you're pocketing around like 8,500
Gee,
paycheck. So
dang, yeah.
so I mean,
But that's like years.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So I mean,
you're in it for years.
that's why a lot of people like try like a lot of recruiters because there's a lot of like recruiters on base, and then there's a person called the career planner. The career planner is like the person that like I'm not gonna say like tries to be like, oh yeah, like re-enlist. They like give you like information
Mm-hmm.
that will like help you like make a decision if you're uncertain. Like for me, I talked to the career planner like 6 times because I was on the fence of re-enlisting or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it's easy money. You get told what to do, where to be, and like what like all that.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh yeah, like there's this opportunity, and at that point, like when you're re-enlisting, they offer you bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
So
They make it look good.
yeah, so I know one of my sergeants. He got like, I think he was like 60K but he had to sign like a 6-year contract.
10,000 per year.
Yeah, so it's the
Plus
bonuses
their salary.
Yeah,
Plus their salary, right?
their bonuses come with like a con, I guess.
Yeah.
There's yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you 60,000, but now you gotta give us this.
But then
whatever.
I mean, so if I was an administrator, because I was a driver, right? If I were like as an administrator, as like my main job, I probably would have re-enlisted. Cause they have it nice. I'm not gonna lie. They work in an office that most of the time has air conditioning. All they do is just type away, and I'm not bashing on them because I mean I would have loved to have that job.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean everybody loves. Hey,
Yeah.
If you would have gotten offer, you would have re-enlisted then, huh?
If I was able to like, cause I'm not gonna lie, I scored a pretty low score on my test.
What is it on the ASVAB or
on the ASVAB? I scored like 10 above the minimum, and they based your job offers
off of that.
So the higher you score, the more offers you have. And when I got my test results and the jobs they offered me, they didn't have administrator on there. So they had supply.
Are you able to retest now that you're done?
I mean, like anybody could take like the ASVAB, right? But if I was to rejoin, I'll have to retake it. So that because there's like physical years, and every physical year there's only a certain amount of openings for the job. So for my physical year, there was no jobs for like the job that I did. There was no openings, so that meant that I had to choose a different job.
Oh, so then you were like, nah.
Yeah, because then at that point I'll have to do the ASVAB again, and then pick a job, and then go to their schoolhouse, and then
it was a whole starting over.
Which I mean, I would have had like I guess different privileges than the people that were barely going through it because I was a high rank, right? I was already had a experience in the fleet, and I probably would have like been like a class leader or something.
Yeah.
So they would have put me like in a leadership position while I waited in the school. But I already had made up my mind that I wasn't
No.
gonna reenlist.
That's good. Yeah, you got to come back and spend some time with your family.
Yeah,
That's good, bro. All right, bro. Thank you for coming, bro. It was
absolutely,
fun.
bro.
It was such a good conversation, and I learned a lot, and I hope you guys learned a lot. And I think the candle just finished or something.
Yeah,
But I hope you guys got some value out of this conversation, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new today. I hope I mesmerized you with this episode. There's the word of the day.
Yep.
And with that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And with that being said, peace.